Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just lost all my train of thought. Today's video is a story time, and I've never done a story time before, so brace yourself. All the piping hot tea. This is gonna be the story of how I got my heart broken and my toe cut off around the same time. Let's just do it. This story takes place in about the middle of my junior year. So I think I was 16. So I'd been single for a little bit. You know, I wasn't really looking for anybody, but I wasn't opposed to the idea of having somebody. My best friend, Julia, you guys know her. One day she introduces me to this guy. I don't want to expose anybody, so we're gonna call him Guacamole. Or am I calling him Guacamole? I don't know. It's like the first name that popped into my head. We're gonna call him Guac. So Julia introduced me to this guy, Guacamole, whatever. You know, I didn't think anything of it really. Like it was really chill. Like we just talked for a little bit, just getting to know each other, blah blah blah. You know, a few weeks go by, we're talking to each other a little bit more. Like everybody at school kind of like started knowing we were talking. So like we weren't really dating, but it was kind of like that everybody knows you're talking kind of thing. If we clicked really well, like we vibed, like we really did vibe, like it was cool. So Guacamole, he worked for the county. So what he would do for work is like stay for a team's basketball practice and then like close up the area. So I would always go sit with him when his managers weren't there. You know, I would just sit with him for like 2-3 hours while he was working and just, you know, talk to him, and it was really cool. You know, I'd always bring him food and stuff because who doesn't want food? Like, you know, I thought I was being a good girlfriend. One day we were, you know, sitting in his car after school just talking, you know, and then like I kind of see his phone. There was just somebody texting him, and I saw the name. It wasn't really, he didn't have a name for it. It was a rose emoji. So whoever was texting him like didn't have a name in his phone. They were just an emoji. In my head I was like, that's kind of sus, but like we're not dating, so why am I worried about it, you know? So I kind of just like pushed it aside, you know, didn't really think about it, didn't care too much. Well, I cared a little bit, but not too much. And this was like a month and a half like into us talking, and we were both in physics. We weren't in the same class, but we were both in physics. And at the time during physics class, we had a big project coming up where we had to build a boat out of cardboard and like row it across the pool. We were allowed to like make our own teams with people from other physics classes. So of course we were like, hey, we're gonna be on a team together. So like we just needed to find 2 other people. So he tells me about like this girl in his class, not trying to expose her either. We're gonna call her Ranch. And her boyfriend was also in his class. Call him, what's another like sauce? Caesar. Is that a sauce? Caesar? Isn't it like a dressing? I don't know. By the time we picked our physics teams and everything, this was like 3 months or so like into like us talking. Like literally everybody at this point knows we're talking, you know, we're on each other's Snapchat stories, practically together. Like practically, we were basically together, whatever. This is where everything takes a turn for the worst. So I'm sitting in class one day, you know, minding my own business, not really doing work, because I never really did work. Here's a little information prior to this. Prom was actually coming up in the next few weeks. Like prom was coming up, and you know, we had both kind of just like assumed we were going together, like going like together. So I get a text from him and he goes, hey,
can we just go to prom as friends?
Or something stupid like that. And I go, what? You know, he's like,
yeah, like just as friends, like we're not dating, like, you know, just friends.
I had a huge crush on this guy. Like I was falling for this kid. Like he was great. Like he was so sweet. I was just really upset, you know. So the end of school comes, you know, I meet him at his car, and you know, he tells me this big long story about his ex. They had been together for like 2.5 years on and off before we started talking, which I had no idea. Which obviously I wouldn't have put myself in that situation if I had known that prior. We talk about his ex and he's like,
yeah, so me and my ex are sort of kind of getting back together.
And I was like, what? I was really sad. Like I had just been fired from my job too. Like I was all kinds of sad, you know. So like me being a 16-year-old girl, I kind of overreacted. I kind of like flipped out on this dude. Like I went crazy. I was like just yelling at him and going just wild. I was like, what the hell is your problem? Blah, blah, blah. Texted him angry, blah, 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 blah. I was pissed. You know, I was just like, never can talk to me again. Blah, 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 blah. You know, like I went psycho, which I don't do now. So, you know, I'm sitting in my room all sad, just depressed.
Because my life sucks as a teenage girl.
Crap. We have to build this boat for physics. And like in my head, I'm like, freak. I don't want to work with this guy. Like, I don't want to work with him. I don't want to have to force myself to work with him. But I was like, whatever, you know, it's just a project. We're going to get through it. Like, I text Ranch, the girl who we were in a group with, and I'm like, yo, Ranch, like, he's kind of a butthole for this. She was like, but yeah, I'm kind of irritated at him for all that, whatever. We're all in our group chat, like our physics group chat. We had all agreed to skip school one day to work on our project because we had waited till the last minute to do it. We organized the day, we picked the day, everybody was, I'm pretty sure it was a Friday. Everybody was like, yo, we're gonna meet at my house. We're coming to my house to work on the project. We're all skipping. We're gonna build this thing. We're gonna get it done, so it's done. We all wake up the next morning, ready to, you know, work on the project, whatever. And then, you know, we check the group chat and Guac texted and he was like,
hey, I can't skip school. Blah, 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 blah.
And keep in mind, I haven't seen him once since our big like fallout. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, he just doesn't want to see me. So he's risking his project and he's not gonna help his group on our project, all because he doesn't want to face me. I was like, all right, bro, whatever, cool, whatever. I see how you want to be. Ranch and Caesar still decide to come over because, you know, we're working on our project. Like, I was genuinely angry. First of all, I lost a prom date, which that was a big deal for me back then. I lost the person I was talking to, all because of this stupid bull crap. He wasn't helping us with the project, like at all. He just wasn't helping us, and I was like, dude, what the freak? We were supposed to be a group, like supposed to be working on this project together. So I'm freaking pissed. And what I did was I had just changed the blade on the box cutter that I was using. You know, I am a freaking 16-year-old in my basement building a boat out of cardboard. I don't really think of safety measures. So I'm wearing socks in my basement, you know, just cutting away. Everything was fine. I was just angry. So I was angry cutting with a box cutter. So what happens is I take this huge piece of cardboard. It's taller than I am. I stand it up and I'm like reaching above to like cut it, right? I cut all the way down and just all the way down. Like I cut the entire piece of cardboard, probably like a 6-foot piece of cardboard. I feel nothing. Like I absolutely feel nothing. I look down at my toe, like my foot. I have socks on and like I see like a little bit of red come through my sock and like I look at Ranch and I'm like, hey, I think I cut myself. And she's like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, what? But like I don't feel any pain, so it can't be that bad. So I take my sock off because I knew that I had cut myself at this point. I look down and I can literally see the bone of my big toe. And I looked at them and then they look like at Ranch and Caesar and they look at me and they're like, oh my gosh, Hannah. Like me not knowing what to do, like I'm like, oh my god, go grab a towel. And keep in mind, they had never been in my house before, so they don't know where anything is. So I'm like, F it, I'll grab a towel. So I'm sprinting upstairs. My toe was like dragging behind. Blood was going everywhere. It went all over the carpet. It got all over my stairs. And I get to the top of the stairs and like I pass out. Like I was knocked out because I don't do blood and just bones very well. Like I passed the hell out. But like I'm like half unconscious trying to say this. And I'm like, all right, call someone. Just call somebody. Like I'm not like getting my words out. I'm like, just call somebody. And she's like, do you want me to call 911? I'm like, no. I'm like, don't call 911 because I'm terrified of like hospitals, needles, all of that. It freaks me out. So we call my mom and I'm like, hey, I cut myself, and she's like, what? Like, she like flips out. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, relax. I'm not dying, but I am bleeding a lot. So she's like, all right, I'm leaving work. I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go to like the, you know, clinic. I get there, right? And I'm sitting there with my toe open. You know, they flush it out. They get, you know, the doctor to come in. And he looks at it and he's like,
whoa, pretty gnarly cut. I'm like,
yeah, bro, I know. I did that. He was like, all right, we're gonna send you to the hospital. And that whole ordeal at that clinic took about 3 hours, and he didn't touch my foot. He didn't stitch it up. He didn't do anything. So we get transferred to the hospital where we have to wait like 30 minutes in the freaking ER to finally get my toe stitched up. You know, I get back to my house. By the time I get back, you know, Caesar and Ranch are gone. You know, they basically finished it. It's just, so I go downstairs, you know, I'm in a boot, I'm in crutches, I'm struggling. You know, I check my Snapchat story because obviously I posted all this stuff on my Snapchat story because, you know, who doesn't want to hear about my nasty toe? I looked at who saw my story, and Guacamole had seen my story but didn't say anything. He didn't think to message me and say, oh my god, are you okay? Like, first of all, you break my heart. You don't help your group for the group project, and you don't even ask if I'm okay. So I text him and I say, listen, you have to do something on this project. And he was like, well, all right, I'll just come over for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, bring tape, because we need it. That was an awkward hour of my life with him in my basement, just me and him. If you forgot already, I'm just gonna remind you that prom was literally in like 2 weeks. I was not out of the boot by prom. I got them to take the boot off for prom, but I had to go in like a little thing. So honestly, moral of the story is just don't date a guy after him and his ex of 2.5 years broke up. Or at least ask for that information before you talk to him, because you might just end up with one less toe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and staying till the end of it. Holy crap. Go ahead, give this video a huge thumbs up for me, that'd be nice. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. Go ahead and comment below anytime that you've had your heart broken, or anytime that you almost cut off your toe, because I kind of want to hear about that too. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Deuces.